That is your boy.
Let's start with you. More pressure on Sunday, Tua Tagovailoa or Jalen Hurts?
2-5 on my back. Number 1 in your hearts. Anyway, it's got to be Tua. I know you all thought I would say Jalen Hurts because of the performance he had against the Jets.
Of course.
No. Tua's the only quarterback in that draft class that hasn't got that big dollar yet.
That's
that
facts.
big payday yet. See, no matter how bad Jalen Hurts plays, next Sunday, he gonna be there for a while. Now, we think Tua is a franchise quarterback. I think that, right? Yeah. But do we know? They didn't give him that money to show him that. Last year, he had great moments. Yo, Tua, he on another level. He got Tyreek, he got Waddle, he doing this and that. He gets hurt. Okay, he comes back from injury, right? He gets hurt. He comes back, then he has a bad stretch of games. So when you ask me that under pressure, more to prove, it gotta be Tua. Jalen Hurts already did his thing, right? And he's gonna get better and better and better, and they're gonna win games. They went to the Super Bowl last year, right? Where the Dolphins been at? You a Dolphin fan? You ain't been no Super Bowls. Playoffs? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Playoffs.
So my thing is, I think Tua's a good quarterback, but when you ask me about the pressure part, it's gotta be Tua. He hasn't been consistent long enough for us to stamp him as a franchise. Because think about it, we think that. If you ask me today, yo, you think Tua is a franchise quarterback? Yes, hell yeah. Those are my words. The Dolphins, they got to see it more. We got to show us more. I don't know. So he showed us good moments before, and he's let us down. We got to see some consistent.
That's really well said. I'm going to say the flip side. I think Jalen Hurts is under more pressure on Sunday. And I think he's under more pressure because he's shown us that he is better. You've shown us that you're better, then you have to continue to show me that you're better. You can't show me how high your ceiling is, but only scratch the surface. You show me how high your ceiling is, I need you to scratch the top of the ceiling when you step on the football field. Jalen Hurts has been average at best this football season. 7 touchdowns passing, 7 interceptions. He hasn't been that impressive. Meanwhile, Tua Tagovailoa leads the league in total yards, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and he's well on his way as it stands right now to be an MVP. So what I need to see from Jalen Hurts is what he showed us last year. At least show us that all-pro potential. You can't just show us this 7 touchdown, 7 interception performance, Joy.
Yeah, I mean, from a macro sense, Shady is right. Tua has more to prove day in and day out as a franchise quarterback in this league than everyone else in his draft class that is in that position.
It ain't there yet.
It can also be and.
Okay.
And so from a macro sense, yes, I agree with Shady that Tua has more to prove overall to the league, to the Dolphins, to stay healthy throughout the season and to do something in the postseason as a franchise quarterback. But in this game, the question is more pressure on Sunday. In this game, there's more pressure on Jalen Hurts because Tua has been playing at a high level this year. And this past game for Jalen Hurts was really bad. 3 giveaways ties his career high. He had 17 incomplete passes. That's a season high. 59.5 passer rating. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. So if he can correct those, first of all, turning the ball over, that will be significant. But also just play a strong game. We haven't really seen a dominant start-to-finish offensive performance from them yet. So this would be a great game to do it in because this is a great opponent and you are at home. So I think for this Sunday, it's Jalen. Overall, though, I would agree with Shady, it's Tua.
Well, they say more money, more problems. More money, more pressure. This man just signed the biggest contract as a quarterback can sign until Justin Herbert came along and trumped him, and then Joe Burrow came along and trumped him. He's making big dollars to perform at a very, very high level, a level that he performed at last year. Jalen Hurts did this to himself by how well he played last year. All the pressure is on Jalen Hurts. Like I said, if we come out of this game on Sunday night and Tua plays bad, Tua is not in the A block. If we come in here and Jalen Hurts play bad, Jalen Hurts is the A block of the show. Is he that dude? Can he lead this franchise? Did they spend the wrong money? All them questions is going to have to be answered if he has another game or continues to play the way he's been playing. So Sunday night, all the lights is on Jalen Hurts. I think for him, all the pressure is on him because more money, more problems, and the better you have to play. We all know. Shady, you know best. You was one of the highest paid running backs, if not ever, in this game or whatever. Still am, right? So you know, right? The more money you make, the more production they want for you. And even if it drops off a little bit, it's like, this ain't the Shady that we was used to seeing. So for Jalen Hurts has to deliver.
See, this the thing.
Talk to me.
And you have a point, but your point, I'm on the other side of your point. Because money does matter, right? When I look at the numbers from all the quarterbacks in his draft class. Because you talk about Jalen Hurts, if let's say he doesn't play well, right? Let's say he don't play well for the whole season, and we still win in games, he's still gonna be there.
Sure.
So our plans for him is still there. But when you look at the numbers from this draft class, Joe Burrow makes $55 million a year, right? Herbert makes $52 million a year. Jalen Hurts, he makes $51 a year. You know how much your boy's making? Nowhere in the 50s, nowhere in the 40s. So one guy has to...
Making 30s, though? Or no, not even in 30s.
You see
Making 30 over 4 years.
Come on now, you see what I'm saying?
say,
I didn't want to put his whole number out there because I didn't want to embarrass him. I like Tua, so I didn't want to say his real
He in the
numbers.
millions, they don't
But
embarrass him.
listen, so what I'm saying is that when you talk about like real pressure, if Tua slips a little bit and he's not playing the same way for the next 2 games, 4 games, are we going to give him 50 miles a year? Can he stay healthy? These are the questions you're talking about. So, yeah, I get it. This one game, yeah, Jalen Hurts didn't play well against the Jets, so he wanted to play well. But when it comes to that money, that's the only thing that matters.
Shady, let me ask you, because you've been in this position before.
I talk paper. What's up?
Does money beget pressure or does the absence of money beget pressure? What do I mean by that? You told me when you went to Buffalo and they paid you $14 million and you became the highest paid running back at the time. $16 million. And you became the highest paid running back at the time. You told me, like, the pressure was on. Yeah. Because now you're the highest paid, $16 million. I believe that's higher than any running back had ever made in 1 year ever in the history of football, ever. You told me, like, yo, that's when the pressure really was on. So did that money bring more pressure, or did you have more pressure to make the money before you ever got there?
The pressure isn't, okay, this guy has this money, we want to see results. But that year, I played well, but I was hurt. So I didn't give him the results they wanted. That didn't matter, though. The next year, we'll see what he's going to do. He let us down last year. I won't say let down, but he didn't play the way we thought he would through injuries and all that. So the next year, I still had another chance. But let's say I didn't get that money, right? They guarantee me that next year. They don't fighting for him. I'm fighting for some money. Like right now, Tua is playing for contracts.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
a good point.
You get what I'm saying? So if he slips, I don't know where they may go. We don't know where they may go.
There's
but
a
if he keeps
different
balling,
type
he's
of
going to get that
pressure.
money.
There's a pressure of desperation to make the money, and then when you have the money, that is the pressure of expectations.
Exactly.
So it's desperations and expectations. It's both.
He 0 for 2 though. If you bring it like that, he don't got no paper. Well, I can't say no. He don't got the money that they got. Right.
He hasn't been paid his major deal yet.
Now, if he keeps balling though, he gonna jump over these guys.
Get paid.
Tua's a good quarterback, but you got to be consistent to get that.
That's why. But I truly feel like even if he doesn't go out here and ball this game, he's still gonna get paid. This dude is front runner for MVP.
I heard that.
He showed the Miami Dolphins something. He's gonna get paid, regardless.
They said that last year, though.
Expectations.
Come on now.
You know, the way Jalen Hurts, and it ain't even last week. Like I say, we touching on last week because of 3 picks. It's this season. He hasn't been playing at a high level this season. So with a really good football team coming in your building, the expectations from the Eagles fans, we know Eagles fans is one of the most ruthless fans out there. The Boo Birds will come out quick. You know, so for me, the pressure on Jalen Hurts to deliver in this one.
But, like, we've seen great... Earlier today, we were talking about great players, right? Yeah. I can name you every great player you tell me about. I can tell you a year he didn't play well. That happens in sports.
Sure.
That happens in work. That happens all the time. So if Jalen Hurts doesn't... He's not the same Jalen Hurts he was last year, right?
I got an answer for you.
Then what?
I got an answer.
You get what I'm saying? Then what?
He
gets another... See, when they give a contract out, it's not just for 1 year.
Of course not.
That's why I was like, even with Russ last year, the reason why we gave him some type of grace...
Because he has that contract.
You know what? Next year, he's going to be here. Let's see what happens.
But here's my thought process, though, is the jury is still out on Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
That is the dilemma.
Is it?
No doubt about it. Not for you. You're an all-time...
No, not me. He gave $51 million a year.
They had no choice. You know that.
You have a choice?
No, Jalen Hurts had no fifth-year option.
Yo, Howie Roseman got choices.
He does have choices, but Howie Roseman also paid Carson Wentz, and that did not pan out for him. So I'm saying this to say, when we talk about all-time greats, right, and how they're allowed to struggle, sure. But the jury is still out on Jalen Hurts because the Eagles paid Jalen Hurts based off 1 great year. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. His rookie year, he didn't start. Yeah. He went 1-3 when he finally came in. His second year, he went 9-7. The Eagles gave him $180 million, and you know the numbers better than I. They gave him that much money because of 1 good year. And so when you're talking about Jalen Hurts struggling for 6 games, he's already struggling for over the third of a season. And he got paid for 1 good year. So to me, the pressure is on Hurts because the jury is just still out on Hurts from players who spoke on it to analysts alike.
I disagree.
Disagree with what aspect?
They paid him $50 million a year. What judge, jury, executioner, whatever. Like, no, he's paid. He is paid. He's going to be there next year. They're not going to bail on him.
Be there
off
next
of 1 year.
Of course, agree with that.
No.
And the year after that, too.
Yes, and the year after that. So some judge, jury, Howie and the owner decided that we've been convinced guilty. You
But
here's
two
the
things
payment.
can be true, don't you agree? That like
We
you
can
get
think
paid.
whatever we
No doubt.
no, because they didn't have to pay him that much. They did not have to pay him that much. They did not. They did not.
Their options were pretty tied in the sense that he's going into his 4th year. He has
Okay, but
no 5th-year option.
also, he was in the Super Bowl last year. He was All-Pro. He's back up, the second runner-up to MVP, All-Pro. Played in the Super Bowl last year. Won the NFC. Won games. Went all that offense, all that pretty offense, flying around, woo, balls, whatever. Lost those games when Jalen Hurts wasn't there. Like, if you don't know how great Jalen is, cool. But Jalen is a franchise quarterback unequivocally.
Of course.
And they're
And a
5-1.
And a winner.
And they're 5-1 while he's struggling.
Can I ask you guys a question? What's the difference between Jalen Hurts and Russell Wilson's situation right now?
5-1.
Like, Russ ain't playing good football. Russ is
She just
paid.
answered it. She just answered it.
But I'm just saying, Russ, he's paid, though. You guys are saying he's paid, he can't go nowhere. Russ finna be out of there, and Russ making a lot of money.
I won't even sit here and disrespect Jalen Hurts and put him in the same category.
But I'm just
as
saying,
Russell.
Russ has accomplished a lot of things in this league, including winning a Super Bowl.
That's for y'all to figure that out. Shady, LeSean, I'm not going to sit here and we going to be arguing about Jalen Hurts and Russell Wilson. Like, that don't even...
What? Russ has accomplished a lot in this league and won a championship.
Yeah,
Well,
then-
I'll answer. What's the point intention of the question?
Because they're
Yeah, like,
saying, like, he ain't never going to go nowhere.
I disagree.
That's what I'm saying.
I
If he
vehemently
plays
disagree.
bad like this,
I
yes, he's
vehemently
making some
disagree.
money, but Jalen Hurts can't play bad like this consistently.
But guys, it's been 6 games. Russ has had, if you really want to look at it, 3 years of subpar play.
Agreed.
Big difference.
Agreed.
A whole year of like the worst play in the league, which Jalen is not doing.
Ain't even close.
And it's not even comparable. The worst play in the league, worst in the league, and now he's had more bad games, more bad performances. So it's like 6 games to a whole season. And then 6 other games. And the year before that, he wasn't really playing well either. So he has a way bigger sample size of he's not like that right now.
We watched Russ a whole year look awful. Did y'all see that too?
No doubt. No
and we
doubt.
gonna speak come on,
Because
man.
if we're talking this year, even though Russ losing, Russ stats better than Jalen Hurts.
The real
Crazy.
parallel that I would draw would be Carson Wentz. Because we've seen it with the same team, and we've seen Carson Wentz struggle play. We saw Carson Wentz almost win MVP. We saw Carson Wentz, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, but Carson didn't contribute. So the real parallel as I would draw is that. Because Carson got paid, and 2 years later, he was gone. That's the parallel I would draw. Now, we're not saying that about Hurts. But what I am saying is, Hurts has to turn it around, because in Philly, you know better than everybody. It's like, what have you done?
I'll say this. I'll say this. And Joey was agreeing with this one right here. When you playing bad and y'all 5-1, I'll take that.
Sure.
Because I see dudes that play bad and they don't win no games.
We all take that.
Come on, man. What we talking about? What we talking about on Speak? What we talking about? Either you winning or you losing. Or you losing or you winning. Jalen Hurts, he's winning.
Either you playing well or you're not.
He's winning, though. and if he plays better, they might blow teams out.
True.
You feel me?
I feel you.
And if
Come
he
on,
don't,
man.
they might lose to the Jets.
This is crazy.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.